What's up, guys? Welcome back to Bisons football. So we're coming off our first shutout of the season, but not in a good way, unfortunately, because we were the ones that got shut out. But when we ended up starting this franchise, I honestly thought this was going to happen every week. But after 14 weeks of not getting shut out once, including a Week 14 victory against the Chargers, I thought we were kind of in the clear and we'd actually kind of put it together. But nope, the Lions brought us right back to earth and proved why they're actually going to be a really good playoff team this year. But thankfully, the matchup this week is not as bad as the one last week, as we are coming back home to San Diego and taking on the New England Patriots. And even though historically we aren't good at home, we're still facing a New England team that's only 4-10 and probably led by Mac Jones, which leads me to believe that we actually have a better chance this week. Now, as expected, they are led by Mac Jones, who has 3,200 yards this season, which really isn't that bad, but a 22-18 touchdown to interception ratio, which isn't that good. And when it comes to rushing, it looks like they are splitting carries between Stevenson and Elliott. However, for the most part, it looks like they are going to Stevenson, and it looks like he is the one who's producing the most as well. Now, the receiving attack is led by Douglas Parker and Smith-Schuster. However, they do also have Henry and Gesicki as really great receiving tight ends too. Now, defensively, they actually look pretty solid. Looks like they get some pretty good pressure. Looks like they're pretty good in coverage as well, but honestly, nothing that our team can't handle. So before we get into strategy, since we are pretty close to the end of the season, we may as well look at the standings and see where we're at compared to everyone else. And as you guys can tell, we're pretty close to the bottom, but not the worst team in the league, which is really great. That goes to the Giants, who are 2-12. But right now, it looks like we would be owning the 2 pick in the draft. And honestly, that's not good enough for me. I really want that 1 pick. However, at the same time, I still want to win 4 games this season, so I'm a little conflicted, but at the same time, it's kind of a win-win. Because if we end up winning, then I'll be pretty happy that we ended up winning, but if not, get a better draft pick, and hopefully we can actually hop over the Giants and end up taking that number 1 pick. Now, from a defensive standpoint, it looks like they do throw the ball for the most part as opposed to running it, so it looks like we're going to be defending the deep pass this week. And offensively, per usual, we're going to be rushing to the outside. However, if we need to change it up at halftime, we always have that opportunity. So as we get into this Week 16 matchup, we are facing a 4-10 Patriots team that are led by Matthew Judon and Darrell Peppers on their defense and Trent Brown on their offense. He is their left tackle, so maybe if we are going to end up blitzing, maybe we actually do it from the right side. But either way, we come back to San Diego for the Sunday night primetime game, and Week 16 against the Patriots starts now. Well, welcome to not so sunny San Diego, because it is a Sunday night game, as we do get to kick off, thankfully, because you know I love to get the ball back at half. So we need to have our defense really make a statement here, as we actually end up losing Nick Bosa to an injury. Let's hope he just goes to the sideline. He is, thankfully, so he'll be coming back soon, hopefully. And that's not the kind of statement I was expecting to make to kind of start this game. It's not good to lose one of our best defensive players, but thankfully we end up getting some pressure and he throws it away for a 3rd and 5. Now let's see if we can force this 3 and out. I mean, it's Mac Jones throwing right here. And let's see, we actually get through the line, but he ends up finding some space and finds his receiver for a big chunk of yards there. So as they convert on 3rd down, they have it 1st and 10 on the 36. And wow, Stevenson actually gets a pretty good rush there. So 2nd and 7, let's get this stop right here. We are getting some pretty decent pressure, and that allows us to actually get a pick right there. I'm actually kind of surprised at that, but thankfully, we actually had Myles Garrett on the field, and he was the one to actually pick that off. Look at this, just perfectly right in the breadbasket. Well, I guess right in the hands, not the breadbasket, but finds a way to actually catch that, picks that, and saves us from giving up a field goal, and now we have the ball. Now, after some wizardry by Garrett, we have the ball back, and we're going to be running to the outside as per our game plan. And if we would have continued running to the outside, we might have actually gotten more yards. So let's see if we can do that here on this one as he breaks that tackle and is able to get a 1st down. So let's see if up the middle is a little more vulnerable. Pardon me, I can't even talk. But it's not, and we only get 3 yards. Let's get Sweat a little bit of rest here and bring McKinley out for his first carry of the game, as we have it 2nd and 7. Fresh set of legs ends up picking up the 1st down. 2nd and 4, McKinley is getting the ball right back. And he is getting well, not quite a 1st down, pardon me, I kind of jumped the gun there. 3rd and inches. And anytime we have it and inches, you know we're giving it to the fullback because you know he's going to get at least 1 yard, and he gets 4 on that one. But McKinley's going to be the one that you know is going to be able to pick up the extra yardage, except for on that one as he picks up nothing. But I feel like we're going to pick up a lot more on this one as we get a nice little hole up the middle, and we get it to a 3rd and 2. And the right side of the line actually looks extremely crowded, so let's bring it to the left here, and let's pick up this 1st down. There we go. And the way we're moving the ball, I feel really confident in this matchup. And look at that. Some pretty good blocks, but only gets 2. Their defense really shutting off their blocks and finding a way to be able to get to the runner as they did on that one too, and we get a loss of 3. I want to make sure I run one more play before the end of the quarter. So let's go with a screen here as we thankfully get the ball off, but they are there to meet us for a loss of 4. So after one quarter, it is 0-0. Thankfully, we ended up getting that pick and getting the ball back, but it looks like our drive is about to stall out. And this is where having a kicker would actually come in handy pretty well right now. But thankfully, we get some good blocks. Can he make it up to the first down? He can't. He gets stopped, and unfortunately, we turn it over on the 12. I thought maybe he was going to have the power to be able to get through him, but unfortunately, he still ended up stopping him. But thankfully, we pinned them back pretty far. And as we get through, and we tackle him for a safety. I did not think that he was going to be able to tackle him, but thankfully, Lawrence ends up getting him down in the end zone. And we now have the lead 2-0, along with getting the ball back now. Look at this. I thought I dove a little early, but thankfully, he rolled over enough that it kind of rolled Mac Jones' ankles a bit, and we got him down in the end zone. So yeah, that was the plan the whole time. I really wanted to just pin him back just so we had a chance to be able to actually get a safety there. But let's go. We have possession yet again. Oh man, and we get stopped in the backfield. So let's see if we can get the outside edge here to the left. We need some good blocks, and I am just running right into him again. Whoa, we just punted him right in the chest. What was that? All right, we have 2 downs to be able to kind of pick up the first here, so let's go for a run on this one before we decide to kind of throw up the white flag and just kind of go for a screen. So let's go for the draw, get a good block. Unfortunately, he did not lead him that much, and now we have it 4th and 10. So I feel like we've done this a little too much now that they're probably going to pick this up, but let's give it a shot. Thankfully, we get the ball off. We get some blocks, and we do end up getting the first. Wow, I'm surprised we actually converted on that one. But thankfully, that conversion gets us a fresh set of downs and also gets us into their territory. As we get another rush here with Sweat that only gets 3 yards. And we need to do better than that as we run to the outside yet again, and we end up losing 2. They're starting to pick up on everything that we're doing. So let's go a little creative and actually go for a little bubble screen over to Hutchinson. As we get a couple of good blocks, and he gets forward for about a gain of 3. But again, thankfully, we are over midfield, where we're going to go for one more screen pass to see if we can actually pick this up. But again, they have got to be reading this by now. And they kind of do, but we still get some really good yardage, and we get up to the 26. And maybe we need to switch our plan up a little bit more and maybe just go for more screens. But either way, let's get back onto the ground and see if we can actually get good yardage. And see, setting up that screen pass and being able to get those first downs really kind of sets us up better for those outside runs. But let's try to punch this up the middle with a first down right now. Not bad, just hold on to the ball, and we gain 3. And while we do have a chance for a first down here, I don't think we're going to be picking that up. I think it's going to be touchdown or bust here. And thankfully, we're getting much closer to the end zone. So 3rd and 3, we really need to pick this up right here. Out of the 2-minute warning, it looks like we have a good hole. And we don't quite get it. It is now 4th and 1. So brute strength versus brute strength right here. It's either going to be a touchdown or a turnover on the 1, but that gives us another chance to get a safety. But I would really like to score here as McKinley gets the ball up the middle. They blitz, and wow, they end up stopping him on the 3. So while we do end up turning the ball over, at least we had them on the 3 here as they go with the run. And unfortunately, they get out from being pinned back, and they get a 9-yard gain on that. Thankfully, they are kind of letting the clock run a little bit here. So let's see if we can get a stop. We just can't allow them to get a field goal or any kind of score for that matter. Nice, and good pass break up there. So we're 1 down away from getting the ball back. So let's see if we can pick up this stop right here. We have plenty of timeouts as well. Oh, we don't get the stop, but he does get stopped at the 18, thankfully. And unfortunately, we let them get that first down, but still, they are pretty deep in our territory, so let's pick up this stop. And looks like we're getting a big one right there as we sack them for a loss of just an absolute ton, and we bring them back to the 4. And Bosa, who was injured, ends up coming back in and picking up that pivotal sack right there. Oh, 2nd and 25, and they go for the run. I'm going to call the timeout. Now, in all honesty, I'm not sure why I'm doing that because I really just want to run the clock out here, especially with the way that he's running. But let's call one more timeout, and let's get the ball back. Now, I don't think we're really going to have much of a chance. We're going to go for one screen pass. If we get the first down, we'll keep charging. But if not, then we'll just kind of let the clock run out a little bit here as we get the ball out to him. Good block. Can he get to the outside? He does. But we're going to have to call a timeout. Let's see if we can get one more in. First down at about midfield. Let's see if we can get something here. he didn't throw the ball. He didn't throw the ball, and we're just going to let the clock run out. And even though we were trying to throw to McKinley at the end there, I'm actually kind of glad that we just went down. We're able to kind of go into the locker room at half with a lead of 2-0. Absolutely riveting football. I'm sure that everyone loves this Sunday night primetime game. So as we come out of halftime, we talked about it a little bit, and I think we're going to continue to run to the outside. They're actually bottling up the run really well, but we're going to do our best to continue to kind of run like that. And honestly, I think we're going to defend the medium pass because that's really where he's gashing us. Usually when he goes for something short, it's typically because we end up pressuring him too much. Now, this hasn't been the prettiest game offensively. However, we can turn that around here in the second half. We just got to get some good blocks, get the edge. Unfortunately, that's going to be a hold to start. That is not what I meant. But nothing you can really do about that. You just kind of have to take your licks with that. But let's go to the outside. Let's hope that we can hold our blocks and not actually hold this time, and we get 5. Maybe a little early, but we have it 2nd and 14, so let's try to go for the screen pass here. Let's see if we can pick up some good yards. As he gets out there, can we get a block? Unfortunately, he's a little too fast for them, but he still gets it up to a 3rd and 7. We just need to get it close to the first down marker here as we get some real good blocks, seals the outside, and that's definitely going to be enough for the first down. I love it when the plan comes together, so let's keep going to the outside here. Let's see if we can get some more good blocks. As we did, but only got 2 yards. But let's just push it past midfield on this one as we get some good blocks up front. And enough to be able to get plenty on that one to get the first down. So McKinley doing a really good job of filling in for a very tired Montez Sweat. As he gets the outside here. Oh, I was hoping I could juke around him, but unfortunately White was a little too slow. But we're still able to eclipse the 100-yard mark, and we get the first down. Speaking of tired, apparently McKinley's a little too tired now, so we got to bring Sweat back in, who is going to get a good run to the outside, but unfortunately, that guy sheds his block and tackles us for only a gain of 3. Let's get it, though. 2nd and 7. Let's toss it back out there. Let's good block. And we thankfully get ahead to the first down, and we now have it 1st and goal at the 10. So let's go with the beef up here, and let's go with a real power. So let's send him in motion. But he's coming right back, so we can run it to the right side here. Look at that, some real good blocks, but unfortunately, it's a little too crowded up there, but we do get 5, so we're getting halfway there. So we typically don't run it with the fullback here, but I want Vea to actually get the ball. Just look at him, he actually falls forward for another yard. I don't know why I thought I'd catch him off guard with that, but 3rd and goal, let's crack toss to the outside. That's where we seem to actually get most of it, but I really need to push that out there a bit more. And even from this distance, I do not feel comfortable kicking a field goal. We have not seen him get it even like to the end zone at this point. So we got to go for the screen pass here. Again, if not, we pin them back pretty far. Yeah, they were reading that all day. But thankfully, that was an incomplete pass, and we have them down on the 4 now. So our offense has not been able to finish at all today. We've gotten it down to the goal line so many times, but not enough to be able to punch it in, and thankfully he ends up dropping that one. Because if he ended up catching that, we were going to be in some serious trouble. But we're getting some good pressure. Look at that. They're trying to run up the middle, and we stop them. So this might not be smart, but we're going to send a little bit of pressure here. Oh, I was hoping we were going to be able to... Oh, unfortunately, they're able to actually convert on that one. I thought we were going to be able to get enough pressure to be able to stop him, but he has enough time to be able to unload over to Douglas there. At the end of the 3rd quarter, going into the 4th, still a almost completely scoreless game, as the only points are a safety by our defense. Apparently, we don't need our offense today, but let's keep sending them in here. Let's see if we can continue this shutout, because our defense has played well enough to be able to do so. They definitely deserve it. Look at that. Oh, yes, good stop right there. Still gets the reception, but stops him for a gain of 6. All right, let's have Lawrence get right back in there. He's a big disruptor. Oh, yes! A pick! He shouldn't have thrown it that quick! And our defense, again, coming in clutch and getting another pick. Basham with his first pick of the day. And we are back in control with the ball yet again. Look at this, just placed... What the hell? Look at this, just placed directly into his hands. He was sitting there waiting. Thankfully, he's actually gotten so much better in zone since the beginning of the season. I am really, really impressed. And now we are back in great field position as we try to score and put ourselves up by 8. And we rush it up the middle for a gain of 4. Not bad. So we're in control. We just need to keep getting positive yardage. Any little bit is good for us as we get up to a 3rd and 1. So let's bring this right up the middle and get this first down right here. McKinley, no one's going to stop him, and we end up barely, but ended up getting the first down there. So I think we've done more tosses today than we have all season, but really, it's been working for us. As look at that hole right there. Surprisingly, he breaks through the line and ends up getting a 1st and goal. So now we have 5 yards to go, and we have 4 plays to do it. We can do this. So 1st and goal, we just need to continue to assert our dominance as we do, and look at that hole right there. And he pushes forward for a touchdown. Now, if we can get this 2-point conversion, we're going to be up by 2 scores, and we're going to be in a real good position. And truly, the way that our defense is playing, I think we can do this. But look at that. He got stopped pretty short, and I think they may try to review this, because his knee may have been down, but we'll definitely see. And thankfully, they gave us the points here, so let's see if we can make this a 2-possession game. And I think we do. Look at those blocks as McKinley gets in there, and we are now up 10-0 with only 5 minutes to go. So now our defense just needs to continue to play the way that they've been playing, because they've been lights out. So much so that we've gotten a couple turnovers, and they have yet to score today. Ooh! Oh, he gets laid out and almost fumbles it. Oh my gosh, he did fumble it, and we ended up getting the ball. How did I miss that? But we're back on offense. What a hit, and what a recovery. There is nothing that this Patriots team can do to be able to stop us. I don't know how that happened, but special teams, defense, they are the real MVPs today, because my goodness, man, they are making us unstoppable. So let's try to choose some clock here, and unlike the game against the Chargers, I'm not really trying to meme. I just want to win this one. And we have a 10-point lead, and I really do not want to jeopardize that. And picking up this 3rd and 2 would be absolutely huge, because that would allow us to kind of run the clock out a little bit more, but we get stopped from 4th and 1. So it looks like they're leaving the middle pretty much wide open for us to just kind of pick up this 1st down, and thankfully we do, as long as we hold on to the ball, and you bet. So as we continue to let the clock wind down just a little bit more, we line up for a 1st and 10, the last play before the 2-minute warning. And we're going to pick up yet another 1st down. It looks like this game might be over. And as we bring it down to the 2-minute warning, we have it 10-0. Barring some catastrophic meltdown here, I think we have this game in the bag. And even though we're going to be playing to win, it would be nice to be able to get one more score and kind of shut out this team and score big, just like we pretty much did last week. So I'm really glad we're kind of turning the tables here, and we end up getting the 2nd touchdown of the day for McKinley. He is having yet another monster game, and again, just shows that having an offensive line that knows what they're doing, you can pretty much put anyone back at halfback and they're going to have an incredible game. But McKinley getting in for another score and a chance to bring us up 18. But that is not going to happen, as we are up by a full 2 scores with 2-point conversions. So we are now playing for the shutout. Especially since we just got shut out last week, it'd be really great, oh boy, to be able to do the same to them. But Ezekiel Elliott gets a good gain there. They get a 1st down, and now they're rushing to the line. Oh, as we just bull rush him. And let's light him up there as he fumbles, and we get the ball back again. I can't believe it. Our defense is just coming up clutch this entire game. And they pick up yet another fumble. Look at this hit. Just lights him up. And yeah, no way he's going to be able to hold on to that ball after that. Oh, that's beautiful. So 4 turnovers by this defense is going to allow us to potentially pick up our 4th win of the season as we continue to hold on to the ball, but they are calling timeouts. On 3rd and 5, we're going to go for the draw here. Why not? They don't seem to pick that up, and we get the 1st down, and we are going to ice this game. And that is going to allow us to go from being shut out for the first time this season to shutting out a team for the first time this season. And even though our offense did put up 2 scores, it really was all our defense. I mean, they had 4 takeaways, and they ended up putting us in good position to score. And for a while, they were the only ones that scored this game. We had it 2-0 pretty much until that 4th quarter, and then we finally picked it up on our offense, and we were able to get out of there with 2 extra scores. I mean, our defense was able to hold Mac Jones to a 30.3 passer rating. I mean, he was 6 for 11 with 59 yards and 2 picks. In comparison, Lane Johnson was 7 for 8 with 67 yards and a 101.6 passer rating. Not bad. Lane Johnson, better than Mac Jones. You heard it here first. And in terms of our rushing attack, I mean, needless to say, McKinley just going absolutely nuts. 37 carries for 202. Obviously not like Sweat production, but still 5.4 per carry and 2 scores. Absolutely incredible. Had that one fumble, but still definitely made up for it. Sweat did have 21 yards on 6 carries, and to be completely honest with you, I don't think anyone's going to pass him this season for the leading rusher, so he might actually win MVP despite the fact that he's not really getting much playing time these last couple of weeks. Of course, Lane Johnson hit 2 for -2, but those are a happy -2 because those are quarterback kneels. Then Vea was 2 for 5, and then Hutchinson had that 1 for 6. Now in the receiving game, McKinley did have those 6 screen passes for 64 yards. Pretty much everything with the exception of Hutchinson with that 1 for 3. And look at this defense, man. 2 TFLs combined for 1 sack there, but we had 2 picks. Basham and Myles Garrett absolutely becoming ball hawks. And then look at the forced fumbles, man. We had 2 of them. Chandler Jones had that on that kickoff, and then Derek Rivers ended up getting that one pretty much to end the game there. That was really great and extremely clutch. So even though we did potentially just completely ruin our draft position there by beating the Patriots, because now we were both 4-11 and we did end up beating them, I'm still really happy about that because we ended up completing our regular season goal by winning 4 games. And so that means that these last 2 weeks really are just going to be for fun. And plus, the next one is going to be another rivalry game against the Chargers. And they come to San Diego for that one, too. So I can't wait to have the potential to beat them in front of our home crowd. And I think San Diego would appreciate that, too. And, of course, we have that last game away in Las Vegas against the Raiders. And so we have 2 divisional games to end it. But again, we completed our goal. At this point now, everything is just gravy. So as we look ahead to next week against the Chargers, I don't think much has really changed in the 3 weeks since we played them. I think they have the same team, probably same quarterback as well. So since we ended up beating them earlier in the season, I think we can do this here too. Now again, this next week is really just going to be for pride. I do really want to get a really good draft position, but we have a chance to take down our rivals and be able to sweep the season series against them, and I am definitely not passing that up. So if we can end up beating them there, I'll definitely take the hit. Maybe we can actually trade up and get a quarterback as opposed to just taking our normal draft position. But either way, I think it's going to be a really exciting matchup, and I can't wait to play them next week. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like. If you're new, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week against the Chargers.